Here's lesson 10 from module 3. What we're going to be looking at today is some more action with some fractions where we are combining things that are unlike denominators and getting them to whereby you can combine them because then they have common denominators. And so here we are, we're taking a look at 3 and 5/7, number F, and we're combining with it 4 and 2/3. And so the first one I'm going to start with by just kind of showing you that visual as far as what you can do with your multiples. And then I'm going to move to G, and we will talk about just, kind of looking at them and seeing what you can do for multiplication to come up with a common multiplier. So on this one, we've got taking a look at the first denominator. 1 times 7 is 7, 2 times 7 is 14, and then 3 times 7 gets us up to 21. Now when we look at 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, 3 times 4, or counting by threes, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. And now we can see that we have these two in common. And it was just, in this case, just saying, oh, let's just go 3 times 7, and that's it. Sometimes it'll be a case of, let's see if they have an example in here where it'll be different than that. Nope, I don't see one where it's different than that, where you can just use one of your denominators as something that's common between them. So given that, I'm going to go ahead and get a different color here. Let's go with red. And this time we've got 3 and 5/7. And we're going to give it some space so we can kind of show that multiplication that's happening. 4 and 2/3. And again, leave the space over here for our problem. So what we're looking at in this case is we want to get to 21. And we found that if we say 7 times 3, we get to 21. We have to multiply both the top and the bottom by the same thing to get there. So let's work it. So we've got 21, 7 times 3, 5 times 3 gets us 15. And we don't want to forget about our whole number because that's really important. Now when we take a look at this one, in order to get to 21, it's going to be 3 times 7. So we have to multiply the numerator by the exact same thing. Just like people, we have to treat them equally, otherwise we get the wrong answer. And so now we bring down our whole number, and 3 times 7, we get the 21 we were seeking, and 2 times 7, we get a 14. And now 3 and 4 just get us a whole number 7, and 14 and 15. Well, I know 15 and 15 would get me 30. 14's one less than that, so 1 less than 30 is 29. Kind of messy. 29 over 21. And now we can make that different, because if it's 21 that makes a whole, if we have 29, we definitely know we have a whole. So we go from having 7 of them to 8 of them. And then the difference between 29 and 21 is 8. So if you say 29 divided by 21, it goes in one time, and you have 8 left over. And so that's your answer right there, 8 and 8/21. Now let's take a look at G. That's this one right over here. Here's G. And this time we can look at this and we can think 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I didn't hear anything in there that 8 would go into, because 8, you've got 8, 16, 24, 32, and then you get to 40. So we can figure based on that it really is going to be 15 and something 40ths. And that we're going to be combining with that 4 and something 40ths. So 5 times 8 got us 40. So we have to also say 1 times 8. We have to treat the numerator and the denominator equally. 8 times 5 gets us 40. So we have to multiply 3 times 5 as well. And we get 15. 5, 10, 15. Now when we combine them, we know that 15 plus 4 is 1 smaller than 15 plus 5. So it's not going to be 20. It's going to be one less than that, 19. And now when we say 8 plus 15, you can think 5, 6, 7, 8, leaving you 3 left over, so that's going to be 23. 9/40ths. Ooh, sorry about that. And I know that 23 is smaller than 40. 23 is also a prime number. You can't divide it by anything other than 1. More sneezes. So it is what it is, and that's the answer. We can't simplify it any further than that. Now I'm going to do one word problem for you. I'm going to do number 3. And this time we have 2 strings. Maybe they're fabric strings. They're definitely not guitar strings because guitar strings are not that long. And I want to switch colors. I'm going to go blue this time. So we're taking string A and string B and finding their total length. If they're asking for a total length, that means you're combining them. So we're taking 3 and 5, 6, and we are combining it with 2 and 1/4. And so now if you think about this, if you go 6, 12, 18. Now let's think about 4. 4, 8, 12. I said 12 in both of them. So let's use that for our common denominator for both of them. 12. The other way to think about it is if you multiply 6 times 4, you get 24, which becomes a common denominator, but it means that your numerators are going to be much larger, wouldn't they? Because you'll be multiplying them by something larger than if you kind of say, oh, this is times 2, 6 times 2, 5 times 2, 10. 4 times 3, oh, 1 times 3. And so that's going to be 3 plus 2 is 5. 10 plus 3 is 13. Denominator stays the same because that's the size. This isn't a matter of saying, oh, 5 plus 1 is 6, and 6 plus 4 is 10, because I'm not asking you as a 5th grader to be able to tell me that you know how to add 5 and 1 anymore. You've outgrown that. When we take a look at this here, if it takes 12 to have a whole, and you happen to have 13, it's 1 more than 12. So it's going to overflow. So 5 is going to become a 6. And 13 is 1 more than 12. Telling you that then 6 and 12, 1/12 meters is the total length of string. There. With our word problem, we've answered with our answer that tells what's happening, what those numbers mean. Here's your homework for tonight. We have here the exit ticket, and I would like you to choose one. And what I need to see is show your work. As always, I need to see your thinking. If you just write the answer, well, I know all of this stuff is available 100% for free online. If you just show me your answer, then I know that you know how to look it up. I need to know that you know how to come up with common denominators. That's the goal. So have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. And I hope you don't sneeze so much as I do. Bye.